So he talked to the head of the cabin crew and he said, "We're not sure if the gears will go down. And in case the gears collapse while landing, be ready to evacuate."
It's either you make it or you die. That's because you cannot do anything anymore.
Runway in sight.
With only minimal response from the aircraft's flight controls, Captain Reyes faces the most challenging landing of his career. "10,000 meters above the Pacific Ocean, on a flight from the Philippines to Tokyo, a bomb cripples the flight controls of a jumbo jet. As PAL 434 starts its descent, the fate of the nearly 300 people on board depends on the skill of Captain Ed Reyes.
I know everybody was scared. We are all scared. I know that.
Gear down.
The gears were supposed to come down a few seconds, but that was the longest second. Because we were waiting for the greens to come on.
Take a long time.
It took a long time. It was a long few seconds until when it locked.
3 green, sir.
Okay. I'm disconnecting the autopilot and landing manually, okay? Dex, monitor my descent rate, call altitude and speed. Flaps 30.
Okay, 500 feet on course.
Flaps 30 set.
Help me with the elevator. When I say push, I want you to push.
Okay, 200 slightly left.
Correcting. Push.
100. 50. 30. Power off.
Your last command was pull.
Yeah, my last command was pull.
I made sure that the throttles were closed because he might give a go around and I would make sure that we would stay on the ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking. We'd like to thank you for your cooperation and your patience. Emergency crews are on their way. We'll try and get you out of here as soon as possible. Thank you.
The Philippine Airlines 747 is now a crime scene under Japanese jurisdiction. As investigators from the Okinawa Police Department set out to solve the mystery of what happened, they turned their attention first to the dead man in seat 26K. The forensic pathologist recovered 94 fragments of the seat embedded in Haruki Ikegami's buttocks by the explosion. He suffered severe internal injuries and massive loss of blood. But tragic as it was, the effects of the explosion could have been much worse.
If the explosion had been sideways, it would have blown a hole in the plane and caused an air pressure problem. In a sense, it was good that the blast was vertical. But we have to remember the victim. He died to save the rest of us.
Ikegami's body bore the brunt of the upward blast, but the explosion jammed the steel cables in the ceiling that control the rudder and elevator. The charge also severed the co-pilot's control cable to the right aileron, one of the surfaces on the wing which make an aircraft bank and turn. The downward force blew a hole in the floor and could have ignited the vapors in the center fuel tank, creating a catastrophic explosion. But by chance, on this flight, seat 26K was not located directly above the tank, as the bomber may have planned.
Fortunately for us, we took a different version, the SAS version of the 747 that day, and that specific seat for that version was 2 seats forward of the center tank.
The Okinawa forensic investigators immediately start work collecting evidence from the bomb site. They begin with the largest fragments of debris and then systematically work down until the smallest particles are retrieved by vacuum cleaner. Japanese investigators cannot identify the bomb's detonator, nor find any obvious trace of the explosive used. But by separating out bits of metal, plastic, and electrical wire that do not belong to the plane, more components of the bomb are pieced together. One forensic investigator is able to identify the bomb's timer. By reconstituting dozens of burnt fragments, he discovers it is a modified digital wristwatch. Investigators also discover that one of the bomb's 9-volt batteries is only sold in the Philippines. It is a clue that suggests the bomber could be based there. Philippine National Police Deputy Chief Sonny Raison is on the case.
In the later part of 1994, we already started to receive information, intelligence reports, that there were Middle Eastern personalities that were here already in the Philippines.
On the night of January 6, 1995, almost 4 weeks after the bombing of PAL 434, the Philippine police get a lucky break. A fatal bomb attack on board a Philippines Airlines flight launches an international manhunt. Police must find the bomber before he strikes again. The terrorist has returned to Manila. He's transformed an apartment into a bomb factory, and with the help of a friend, he begins to mass-produce his new miniature explosive device. An attempt to burn off chemicals gets out of hand. Acrid-smelling smoke spills out of the apartment. It attracts the attention of the doorman, who comes to investigate.
What's going on? Sorry. We're playing with some fireworks, but it's okay. We put them out, and we have all the windows open inside, and we keep the door closed. It'll be fine, okay?
You all open the door.
No, if we open the door, the smoke comes in the hallway. Keep it closed to go out the window, okay? Come on. It's okay. It's okay.
Until the smoke dissipates, the bombers decide to wait outside the apartment. The doorman isn't convinced by their playing with fireworks story, and he calls the fire department and the police. By the time the firemen come, the smoke is gone, and they leave after a quick check. The bomber now realizes he has left a very sensitive item in the apartment, and he orders his friend to retrieve his laptop computer.
He was too clever a guy to come back and expose himself, because all along he knew that that would be too risky for him to go back and be caught.
The bomber's fear of getting caught is justified. Once Police Inspector Ada Farascal learns that the occupants are from Pakistan, she insists on seeing their room for herself. The police in Manila are on high alert due to a planned visit by the Pope in a few days. What Inspector Farascal finds confirms her worst fears about the intentions of the tenants.
You know.
You! Stop!
The shot distracts the apprentice, and he trips over a fallen palm tree. The cop discovers he has no handcuffs, so the doorman improvises with the drawstrings of his windbreaker. In the meantime, the bomber vanishes. One of the first senior officers to arrive at his apartment is Sonny Raison.
Incident at Doña Josefa apartment was the breakthrough in opening our eyes that the Al-Qaeda terrorist cell was already operating here in the Philippines.